Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 6 of Halftime Adjustment.
Hey, welcome back.
To the left of me here, I have my best friend, Luis Barraza.
Hey guys, welcome back.
And directly in front of me, I have my other best friend, Derric Benavidez.
Let's go.
Crazy week. I mean, this is probably one of the craziest weeks that I can remember in some time when it comes to fantasy football. We're all sort of feeling down. We all took a loss this week.
Yeah. A stupid loss, I will tell you.
Oh
that.
my gosh. Oh, Luis, talk about your loss. We got to hear about this.
So I was down by 26 points, and I had like the combination of AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert, right? You know, the points that AJ Brown had put up last week, and also Goddard. You know, I was like, dude, this is an easy win, right? You know,
It's a lock. Yeah.
It's a lock. It's a combined of 26 points. Well, it was a very close game. AJ Brown didn't do as much. Goddard did pretty well.
He did good. He had a good game.
He did have a good game. For his standards, yeah.
So my opponent had 134 points. By the fourth quarter, I was at 133 points.
Yep.
Our league is a PPR league.
You just needed one catch
and 1 yard.
Yeah.
To win, I'll be 134.1.
Yep.
The whole fourth quarter, neither of those two players caught a single pass.
They ran like the entire fourth quarter.
They ran trying to. I mean, I honestly knew they would do that because they were up by like 3 touchdowns, so I knew they were just going to try to run the clock down.
Mm-hmm.
But also the throws that Jalen Hurts were attempting, he either ran it, he had a bounce, it was incomplete, whatever. So yeah, the whole fourth quarter, neither of those two players didn't catch one single ball,
yeah.
and I lost by 1 point.
That's so.
He lost by
rough.
1.18 because we do decimal scoring.
Yeah. So
I mean, come on.
1 point. So he
That's
had.
the
So one of those guys had to catch the ball and let's run 2 yards.
Nothing. Yeah, it had to
catch
be.
it.
Just
Yeah,
run.
just caught it. Yeah.
Like, so I was actually really mad yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually like,
I would be, yeah.
I was pissed
I would be
because
too.
now I'm 0-2, and the week before that, my first week, I lost. I guess it was okay loss. I lost by 4 points, 3 points, whatever,
Lost to me.
by this guy.
Lost to Colton. Yeah.
But because our league's PPR league, in the fourth quarter, Williams was getting just dump offs. Dump offs was 1, 2,
Right.
3,
11
receptions.
receptions.
So
He killed it.
it was terrible, but I mean, it's okay. We can bounce back.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It was a rough loss for you.
Here's just that.
It's a heartbreaker.
In 2008, Giants went 0-2, made the wild card, won the Super Bowl. So.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you're the Giants, I guess.
Yeah, you're the Giants. Whatever.
I'll join your pain, Luis. I lost my game as well.
But you lost yours by a landslide, right?
No, it was like by 6 points.
Yeah, his was
Mine
close.
was
I
pretty
lost
close.
by like 20 points,
Yeah.
but he lost by a very close margin.
And I
too.
was up. Okay, so I lost because of Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Oh,
I
my
was
goodness.
up 70 points, and those two guys just killed me.
Oh no! Wait! You played David?
No, I didn't play David.
Who'd you play?
That was Stephon. So he played. That's
okay.
the guy's name.
That's the
It's
guy's
like the
name. Oh, so
Washington something is
So
what it is.
he had Stephon Diggs and Allen.
Yeah,
and Josh
Stephon
Allen?
Diggs and Josh Allen, and all I needed was for them not to score 70 points, and they got 70 points together. Do they
That
not
hurts.
run the ball over there in Buffalo? Are you kidding me?
They did in the fourth quarter once they had
What
put
the
41
heck?
on the board.
Dude, be like
the whole time.
Be like the Eagles, dude, because they were up like 30-something points. I was like, be like the Eagles. They were up 24-7, and they start running the ball like crazy.
What you needed to happen for the Eagles last night happened with the Buffalo Bills. They just
Yes.
kept passing.
Exactly.
They were like,
They
screw
didn't
it.
even care. They
We're
were
just
like,
going to keep
screw
doing
this.
it.
I'm just going to keep
We're
passing
gonna
it
kill
to
them.
Diggs.
Stupid.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns? Are you kidding me?
How many
Dawson
yards?
Knox wasn't there? What? They don't have any other pass catchers over there?
Dude,
Literally nobody.
I guarantee you, Diggs has Josh Allen as his quarterback, and Josh Allen has Diggs as his receiver.
receiver, yeah.
I guarantee
They're
you.
in big money leagues too. So.
Yeah.
okay.
I guarantee you, they're like, hey, bro, just pass it to me. You get points, I get points. The best.
Yeah. So this, rough week for us, but we'll go ahead and move on to the news. There's not as much news as there was last week on the injury front, but we do have one pretty heartbreaking injury. I'll turn it over to you, Derric, so you can talk about this one.
Yeah, it's a rough one to see, and it's terrible because I have Trey Lance on my team, but he broke his ankle early in the first quarter. It looked really bad.
It did.
If you saw the replay. But Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the starter. Good thing they signed him over there, right? I mean,
no kidding.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah,
They got-
it was talks of trading him.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Lance, I mean, he's done. Like, you really had high hopes for him this season, but he broke his ankle early in the first quarter. And so it's Jimmy G now. But I think this is better for the 49ers, like all the playmakers on
Positional
the 49ers.
players?
Yeah,
I agree.
Just because Jimmy G, he's not as mobile as Trey Lance is. And so he's gonna have to rely on all of the playmakers like Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle if he comes back.
He should come back.
Yeah,
He will.
if
They've
he
said
ever
that he
comes
was
back.
like really, really close to playing last week. So I think he's for sure playing this week. I'm worried about Brandon Ayuk because he had him last year as a weapon and he underutilized him.
Yeah, he didn't use him as well.
And he was Trey Lance's favorite weapon. So I'm curious to see if they do get him involved or if it's just the Deebo show again.
Yeah,
and you see Deebo just skyrocket to 14 targets a game again and 3 handoffs.
That might be the case, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's rough to see, but Jimmy G taking over, see how he does here.
I think he's do good.
Sort of an interesting one here. Mike Evans suspended this week.
Dude, him and
Lattimore.
They've been having beef.
They've had 2017
for
right?
long,
Yeah.
for so long, dude. And I just love it. I love the competitiveness, dude. I love it.
No, that's great.
Yeah, you don't love to see the blindsided hits, but
Oh, gosh.
I mean, it's just
Dude.
Mike Evans is a hot head.
Dude, have you ever
See
been
that.
blindsided like that?
I don't think so.
You never played football, didn't you?
No, not really.
Dude, when I played football in high school, oh god, dude.
You got hit like that?
Dude, remember Kevin Tizino? Kevin?
Uh-huh.
KG or whatever? I don't know.
He played like USFL ball or something like that.
I don't know.
like indoors.
He dude, we were practicing in the indoor because it was raining outside. We were doing 50%, running plays, whatever. And I was on JV. And so the JV defense played the varsity offense and vice versa. So, it was a good little practice for us. Dude, literally this guy just knocked just cleans me out for no reason, dude. He so I'm backing out. He makes a little curl run, and I turn to go get my guy, just go boom, and dude, it sucks, dude.
Hey, Marshawn Lattimore can feel your pain
Yes,
because
he does.
that happened to him, and he's out for a week. Marshawn Lattimore did not get suspended. Only Mike
Yeah,
Evans
it was
initiated
it was
it.
because it's not who initiates it. It is really who retaliates it. Because I can initiate something, but the ref's not gonna see what I did. But if he turns around and sees Derric hitting me because I hit him, well, he's gonna see Derric hitting me, so Derric doesn't get the suspension.
Tom Brady was the one that initiated it.
Yes,
honestly.
dang it.
Yeah, and did y'all read Mike Evans' lips on that?
No, but-
After the play happened and he was on the sidelines, you can see him lip saying it was Tom Brady. What am I supposed to do? He stood up for his quarterback. That was a move to stand up for his quarterback. So I don't hate it. But out for week 3, they signed Cole Beasley as a practice squad guy. Maybe he makes it this week. It's just a 1-week move. I don't really know that there's much here. Maybe Godwin comes back, but I'm avoiding this offense this week.
Yeah, this
so.
doesn't bode well for Tom Brady, I don't think.
No.
It's going to hurt him a little bit. They don't really have that many weapons over there right now. If Godwin sits out and also Julio,
Yeah, it's not looking good. What about James Conner? Apparently, I actually didn't see this play, so Derric, I'll turn to you here. Apparently, he avoided some sort of serious injury.
Yeah, James Conner, he looked like he was going to be missing a lot of time with a ankle injury, but apparently the news came out that he avoided that ankle injury and that it's not a long-term issue. So
That's good.
That's good to hear, but I think he's still questionable for next week, but just keep an eye out for his status for week 3.
Yeah, that's very good to hear that he avoided the long-term injury. You always hate to see players go down like that.
Yes.
There is a player, however, that sort of you have to keep an eye on, and that's Jerry Jeudy. He is ribs day to day. X-rays came back negative. sort of a question mark around him. Cortland Sutton went off in his without Jerry Jeudy on the field, but keep nothing really too big to talk about here. Just keep him on your radar. Mm-hmm. I think he's probably trending towards playing. It didn't seem like it was too serious.
I think he comes back. Rib injuries aren't the worst. I mean, Justin Herbert didn't he have a little injury?
He had a rib cartilage issue though. Like Thursday? They're saying that he could maybe miss the time.
Really? He fractured a rib.
He has. He hurt himself. So that'll be interesting to see.
Well, you just keep Jerry Jeudy on your bench. Just kind of wait and see how he does. When he comes back.
I will add that there's X-rays show that there are negative results for Jerry Jeudy's ribs being broken. So I think it's going well. It's trending in the right direction for Jerry Jeudy. But also, if he doesn't play, I think the whole Broncos offense are in trouble. Because
really,
I think Russell Wilson relies heavily on Jerry Jeudy. He likes to throw those deep balls.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what Jerry Jeudy specializes in. So
yeah, it's nice to have a guy like Sutton line up across from Jeudy. And Sutton received 11 targets and only caught 7 balls, 122 yards, couldn't find the end zone. So if you're a team now, you're going, okay, who does he throw to? Sutton.
Yeah.
If Judy's out, you're double teaming. I actually like that take. He probably does have a bad day. That whole offense has a bad day because you can just key in on Sutton. So last thing with the news here, Dalton Schultz sprained his PCL, questionable for Monday night against Luis's Giants. Luis, how you feeling about this?
Not worried. Definitely not worried about just one guy being out. Dak's already out. Honestly, like we said last week, Cooper Rush is kind of doing better than Dak is, so I might be more afraid of Rush than Dak. It's not too bad. But what he's supposed to be out for 2-3 weeks?
He might actually play this week.
Yeah, he might play
this week. Okay.
But we'll see. Just keep an eye on his status. He went out and he looked like he was pretty significantly injured, but I don't think it's that too concerning at this time at least. But just keep an eye out for his status.
If he is injured, target Jake Ferguson, backup tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Blake Jarwin was released back in March, so now Jake Ferguson is the guy. They liked him in camps. If Dalton Schultz misses any time, I think Ferguson's the guy people should be looking for. Mm-hmm. Fairly quick news segment, not a lot to hit this week. So let's go to the takeaways of week 2. Ooh. This was a insane week.
One more thing about the news, I guess. James Conner, if he does not play next week, Darrell Williams?
Darrell Williams looks like the better backup.
The backup for James Conner. So, also look at him, too, in case James Conner actually does not play this week. So, just a little...
Good point.
Little insight there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, game takeaways. Crazy slate of games this week. We saw some amazing comebacks, and one thing we've learned is no lead is safe.
No lead is safe.
Doesn't matter how much you're up by. It doesn't matter in this league. So... Derric, take me through some of the games that you sort of highlight this week and some of the offenses in particular that you had fun watching.
So the biggest thing that I took away from week 2 is the Dolphins' offense. I think they looked so electric with Jalen Waddle and Tua over there. It's just insane. Like, you see these crazy numbers that they're putting up.
No kidding.
They both had 11 catches, I believe, and they both had over 150 yards.
Insanity.
That is ridiculous. Tua is on another level of great in this game. I don't know if he's going to continue that, but
didn't I tell you guys? Didn't I tell you that Tua was going to be good?
You told us, yeah.
I think it was more of you, Cole, saying that he wasn't gonna be, not nothing, but he wasn't gonna be, anything. He's left-handed. He can't throw. He's not accurate, whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know, dude. Like, it seems
he's doing good. 6 touchdowns. You can't hate on that.
Yeah,
by any means.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns in one game. That's ridiculous. He hit those records. The last person to do that was Dan Marino.
Yes, that's saying something.
So yeah.
Wait, is he also play for the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for the Dolphins.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, he was the last person on the Dolphins to do that, and so.
Oh, on the Dolphins.
Yeah, on the Dolphins.
I think in general.
No, not in general.
Oh, I think in
Dolphins.
general. Oh, that's kind of cool.
He's just an elite company with that team.
Okay.
It's good to see.
So yeah, I think that's the biggest. The Dolphins are 2-0. They're tied for first with the Bills. So we'll see next week if what they can do against the Bills.
I'm going to air it out. Tua's not afraid to throw interceptions. He had 2 this week.
Yeah.
But he made up with it with the touchdowns. So
yeah, and so they came back from a 21-point deficit, and so
they exploded in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they
did.
The coach
truly
told them something. He said something in the third quarter. After the quarter, he said, "Guys." He said, "Guys, if we don't win, no pizza parties."
No pizza party.
Tua Tagovailoa had 469 yards.
Oh my goodness,
on
that's
36
crazy.
passes.
All right, let's talk about an offense that maybe isn't so hot that you sort of have on your radar here.
Give it to me, the freaking Broncos. Come on, really? Like it's the coaching staff. It's not just the coaching staff. I'll say. I think it's also partially Russell Wilson's fault. But the coaching staff is just killing the freaking Broncos right now, and it's so embarrassing. Like, they lost to the Seattle Seahawks, which got, come on. They don't really have that great of a defense or that great of an offense either. They scored the same amount of points with the last 2 weeks, and it's under 20, and it's embarrassing to see, you're having the fans count down the clock because Nathaniel Hackett can't
hack it.
Literally, he can't hack it. His coaching is not great, and so he came out and said that he needs to make quicker decisions, and that there's these things that there's these decisions that he's making that are just outlandish and just not going his way, and he's not letting Russ be Russ. I don't think. I think it's just more of they're getting in Russ's way, and you traded for Russ to be this great, amazing quarterback and
leader,
and they're not letting him lead. It's just they need to change something over there because they have all the weapons, they have all the pieces to be a great offense. Mm-hmm. It's just, they won, yes, this last game, but.
It looked horrible. The fans were booing them. The fans were actively booing every time they got into the red zone and had to kick a field goal. Yeah. And it seemed like that was a lot this week. So definitely an embarrassing performance by the Broncos. And, you say they're great on offense. They're also great on defense. They drafted Patrick Surtain. They have Bradley Chubb. They went out and get Randy Gregory this season. So they got a great pass rush. Their secondary could stand to gain a little more, but they're still solid. They've built a good roster. You're right. It is coaching that is letting this team down in a significant way. So let's hope they can sort of turn it around and let Russ be the leader of this squad. Let him cook. They kept saying in the offseason, oh, it's time to unleash him. Let him cook. Yeah. And they just didn't. It's just been such a letdown. So, I don't know.
I think eventually Russ going to play his game.
He'll just start calling audibles out of everything. He'll just do the same thing he did with the Seahawks and just start audibling out of it all. So
they're gonna have to do something over there because the way it's going now, it doesn't look good for the Broncos.
No, it does not. No, I agree.
And I'll add that they're in one of the toughest divisions ever.
Yes, they are. And everybody thought that they were going to be able to compete in this tough division, and so far it's not looking like they're going to be able to hold. They will not be able to hold pace with these elite offenses. So, right. Okay, Luis, let's talk about some teams that are near and dear to your heart here. We'll start with your Giants. How you feeling about your Giants?
Dude,
what are your week 2 takeaways?
I'm feeling super, super hyped on the Giants right now. Their offense is looking very, very steady. They're working at a steady pace. Daniel Jones is not throwing interceptions like he did last year. He only threw 1 touchdown last week. It was a field goal game last week. Yeah. But hey, we still won it. Andrew Thomas, third year for them. He's ranked number 1 again for the best offensive lineman. Evan Neal's doing great. But I want to talk about the defense. Defense is looking so well. Colton and I have discussed and argued that, they play the Titans. Titans are going downhill. They play the Panthers. Panthers are trash, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Maybe you're right, but it's just Thibodeau's coming back next week.
I was about to say they're still missing Thibodeau.
Thibodeau's coming back next week, and a pretty bad hurt for us is that Leonard Williams, he got hurt last week too. So
hip injury, right?
Yeah, hip injury. So hopefully Thibodeau can kind of replace him. I don't think he can replace him, but we are looking for Thibodeau to become a monster on that front line. I mean, we drafted him first round, fifth pick overall. I mean,
people had him graded as the highest caliber player this year.
He needs to step up. And Jackson, our cornerback, he has been locking down every single receiver he's touched in the last 2 games. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen versus the Cowboys. Cowboys will be our toughest team so far.
Yes.
Y'all don't really have a matchup till week 5 against the Packers. Y'all have fairly easy, and this is the only thing I'm going to say about this team, right?
Okay,
so
ahead.
It's not that I don't. I mean, I'll say it. I don't like the Giants. I don't like the Giants. So here's the one like concern I have with the Giants. Are you not concerned that they put up 21 and 19 points? We have not seen them have like an elite scoring game yet. They have held their own, but they haven't like taken over a game. It's been 21-20 and 19-16. These games are close for you to say, "Oh, he's locking every receiver down, left and right. They're looking great." Daniel Jones is not getting in the end zone. It's field goal games. They've both been field goal games. It's 21 and 19 points scored. They have not taken over a game on offense or defense yet.
They haven't. And I'll add to Colton's point. The Panthers lost week 1 against the Browns, who just lost to the New York Jets. So that's another point that you got to take in. I mean, but the New York Jets are bottom of the barrel right now. And so I don't know, man. Yeah, I agree with Colton. And then the Titans just got whooped 7-41.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Rough day at the office.
Yeah. So, and they barely won that game. So it's
Look, I understand your key points. I do understand, but pretty much we're bound to back hard. You know, nobody expects the Giants to be 2-0.
You're not taking yourself out of the games, and that's good. You have the Cowboys, then you have the Bears. I think you should win both of those games. Then you have Green Bay. That's your first chance. You have the Ravens. That's another hard game.
We'll be ready. I think Williams will be back. Thibodeau will be 100% healthy. Saquon will be ready to go. The only toxic person I don't like from the Giants is Kenny Galladay. He's gross.
19 million.
I wish I was so excited. I was like, dude, we grabbed a great receiver from the Lions. I'm excited. He has been absolute garbage, dude. I hate him.
He didn't even play any snaps.
Dude,
he's so bad.
He barely.
And he's healthy, isn't he?
Hey, rumor has it, week 2, after the Panthers game, he cleaned out his locker.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep. Is that for real?
Yep.
No kidding.
Yep.
Wow. Giants should just take the hit. Get that guy out of here. He's doing bad. He's doing so bad.
It seems like right now we're rebuilding in the right direction. Please take the negativity out of the team.
Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't mind getting rid of him. Or as a team, you shouldn't either. So, okay, let's talk about a team that you kind of touched on.
Oh, no. Okay. Another team that I really enjoy watching is the Lions.
The Lions,
dude. I
love the Lions.
And it's crazy because I watched the full game. The full game week 1 versus the Eagles. Oh, great game, dude.
Yes,
and I watched the full game last week, and another great game. St. Brown, man, he's gonna be an elite. He's gonna be an elite receiver.
Told y'all.
He's gonna be an elite receiver. And Hutchinson, he's
doing good.
He's doing good too, man. So their defense, their offense and defense, they're looking up. You know, they got Swift in the backfield looking great.
My gosh, Swift is looking so good, man.
Yeah, looking great.
He only had 5 carries for over 50 yards.
Look at that.
Insane. I mean, why did they step away from it?
He was hurt. That's
with a bum ankle.
No, yeah. So I mean, I really like the Lions this year just because they're how can I explain it? They're kind of like, I guess everybody expecting them to be 32nd place again.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
you expect a terrible season.
Nobody expected the Lions to do or play like this. You know, yeah, they lost, but they put up a huge fight versus the Eagles. They didn't get blown out, which is what I like. You know, as long as you fight, then it's cool. But no, I can't wait. I can't wait for the rest of the season for the Lions. You know, that's a team to look out for.
Yeah, all the weapons on the Lions have really easy chances to be great weapons because of the defense that Detroit has, and it's not anything great, but their offense is just going to have to put up points. They're going to they're going to have to keep coming back and have to keep putting up numbers. So.
I mean, what they did 32 points versus the Commanders.
Yeah,
36. They had 36 points.
36. 35 against the Eagles.
35, yeah.
They're scoring lots of points, and keep this in mind. They don't even have Jamison Williams, their first-round wide receiver that was drafted out of Alabama, who was touted as potentially the number one wide receiver in this draft.
I liked him a lot.
People forget about him.
I forgot about him.
Coming back.
He's coming back, tore his ACL, but he's on the road to recovery. This team could get even more dangerous than what we're seeing right now. You can see the target share go down for Amon-Ra St. Brown, but overall a better team dynamic.
No, yeah, I think he was the best receiver coming out of college.
Yeah, a lot of people thought so.
I think he was.
A lot of people thought so. So, yeah, that's a fun team to watch. I'm super excited to continue to watch them this season. They were so much fun on Hard Knocks, and they're showing the hype. It's looking real. So, okay, I'll go to my two teams for the takeaways this week. I'm going to start with the Chargers. This team is intriguing to me.
They're very interesting.
I'm wondering if the injury bug is going to stop hitting them, or if it's just going to just continue down this path of just injury after injury that they continue to have here. Obviously, we talked about Herbert and his ribs. Keenan Allen is injured. They have Khalil Mack on the other side of the ball, who's been an injury-prone player, and so has Joey Bosa in his career. Yeah. You have Eckler, who has shown injury histories in his past.
Yeah, he's not
there
doing
are
so
a
sure
lot
right
of
now.
guys. Yeah, Eckler has looked rough to start the season. He hasn't looked like we thought he was going to. His receptions in PPR leagues saved you last week. If you had Eckler in a non-PPR league, you were screwed because he didn't have a lot of carries and he didn't have any end zones again.
Is it time to buy low for Austin Eckler to try to get him in trades?
I'd say yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree.
I'd buy low on Eckler right now. I think it's the time. I would fade Keenan Allen. I think they like Williams, and they're going to continue to feed Williams.
He did great.
Gerald Everett has stepped up in this offense. He's looking good. Number 5. Is it weird for y'all to see a tight end wearing the number 5? Because I keep watching him line up, and I'm like,
so awkward.
Who the hell is that? I'm like,
so awkward.
And there's Everett. I'm like, oh, he should be 82.
So awkward.
So now that team is I don't know. They're interested. And you talked about the Broncos. Aren't they in that same division?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
division.
The Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers.
Yeah, so that is a tough schedule that they're going to go up against those heavy hitters. Yeah. Took a loss against the Chiefs.
I mean, the Chiefs came back.
They did.
I'm going to give it to the Chiefs. They came back.
Had it not been for Herbert's injury, I think they could have pulled it off.
No, but I think that pick 6 really helped them.
That pick 6 definitely.
That was huge. That was huge. But they got the Jaguars this week. Should be, hopefully bounce back game.
Should be.
But that leads me perfectly into my next team. And that's the Jaguars.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, take it away. Go for it.
The Jags are looking monstrous, dude. We didn't think that James Robinson was going to come back, and he's come back.
It's not the Travis Etienne show. It's the James Robinson show.
It's the Jimmy Robinson show, and Christian Kirk looked phenomenal.
Yep.
Kirk did look good. 2 touchdowns. My gosh.
Lawrence is finally finding himself. So
Lawrence was good. He had a good day. No interceptions. High QBR rating. 25 of 30 on the day, and they shut out the Colts.
It took him a season. But hey, it's fine.
This is great. I mean, this is great to see. Who's the defensive player that they drafted? What is his name?
Ayuk or no?
No, not Ayuk.
It's like IKEN, some weird name. I'm sorry if you're listening.
Yeah, he's listening to our podcast. Their first round pick ended up. It was Trayvon Walker. What are you talking about? Ayuk.
Yes. I can't. There was some other defensive player that went top 10. It was like some weird name. I forgot.
People thought they were crazy for taking him, but he's actually turned out to be pretty solid for them down the middle. He had a sack this week, looking really good. This team as a whole is one of those scrappy teams that is just not going to give up. And like Louis said, they're finding their stride. So I'm very excited to continue to watch them. I think the Chargers, on a bad week with some injured players, this is the time to strike. Let's go, Jags. Yeah. Take advantage of it. Go beat up on a very injured Charger squad and get a dub today. So
they are in first place. by the way. The Jaguars are
kidding.
in first place.
Oh yeah, because that tie.
Because of
Dude,
the
the
tie.
Colts tied and lost.
crazy.
The Colts tied and lost.
What is
and
Jonathan Taylor doing? I mean, the Titans obviously they're sucking right now, so Tyler last. But
Titans are
what is
last.
Jonathan Taylor doing?
Honestly, it
I don't
does
think it's
not
Jonathan
look
Taylor's
at-
fault.
Yeah, I don't think it's Jonathan Taylor's fault.
How
I
many
think
points
it's
did he get last week?
Not a lot.
How many?
I don't
On 31. Oh, you mean in week 2? He had like
Yeah.
5.5, 6 points. He did not have a good
What?
week.
Oh my
He had a really,
God.
really bad week this
He
past
did
week.
not have that great of a week.
I mean, they got shut out. He's not going to have a lot of points.
Yeah.
He had 54 yards on 9 carries and 1 reception for 9 yards. So he had a rough week.
They didn't.
And-
They never passed him the ball. They didn't
Yes.
pass him the ball at all. So like, what are they doing? What is Matt Ryan doing over there? Like, what are they? What is the offensive scheme over there?
God, dude,
you know, it's not. I mean, if it's Michael Pittman, that's the game changer over there. Then they really need him to play this week.
Yeah, they need him back. That hurt them so bad. And I will say this. Y'all both called me crazy to start the year. I was wrong on Tua. I'm not wrong on Matt Ryan. He threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, I was the one
Horrible.
hoping on Matt Ryan. Dude, I like the guy, dude. He's a good player. You
You want to root for him for sure,
No, I
but
like the guy. I think I just feel bad when he lost Super Bowl. I
the
think
Super
that's it.
Bowl, yeah,
I think
that
that's
hurt.
it, dude. I want him to win something, you know.
Yeah.
So that is our week 2 takeaway and recap of games that we feel that were really noteworthy. We're going to go into one of our more fun segments here, and it's King of the Hill. It's our weekly system ranking that we have, where we rank a running back and wide receiver. Luis, really, really close
Oh,
this
you were
week.
close with
Man,
Tyreek
was he
Hill.
I
close.
was almost 2-0.
He was almost 2-0.
If the Bills hadn't played that last game and Stephon Diggs wouldn't have caught 3 touchdowns,
yeah, absolutely killing it.
you would
so.
have got 2 points. But
2-0.
you would have been.
You would have been 2-0. Would have been great.
2-0.
You'd have had privilege to pick your squad again. But
I think I still have privilege for being above you.
no, you don't. So this week ended up Chubb is number 1.
Chubb, Nick Chubb ended up being the number 1 running back. He is the king of the hill.
Not surprising.
Dominant.
Not surprising.
Dominant
He's
performance.
a
If he wouldn't have scored that last touchdown,
Yeah.
they would have won.
They would have won the game. Yes, they would have. Yeah. So thank you, Chubb, for scoring everybody more fantasy points, but you kind of cost your team the loss there. You
Yeah.
should have gone down, and they could have just iced the clock. So, and then as Derrick said, it's Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs.
Absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh. So, Luis, you may have not got to pick first this week, but I'm going to make you go first this week. Let's
That's
go
fine.
ahead and hear your picks for Prince of the Hill. Give them to me.
So I think the next player or next week's player is going to be top is going to be Devontae Adams. He had a
Adams.
rough week last week, and I think usually when great elite players have rough weeks, the next week they bounce up. They do great.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And am I running up the hill? I'm gonna say Juju Smith. Juju. He's been looking pretty solid with the Chiefs, you know. And then knowing Pat, you know, he's gonna pass it to everybody.
I think
You
that's
know.
a horrible pick.
You think so?
I think that
You think
it's
so?
probably one of the worst picks we've ever heard at a
Oh,
game.
dude, Juju's gonna be number 1. I'm with it. This is
But I mean, hey, I thought Sterling Shepard was bad, and he ended up with a pretty solid day. He wasn't number 1, but he had a good day.
Yeah.
I don't know. He only had 3
Well,
targets last week. Juju,
did 3 targets last week.
3 targets for 3 or for 10 yards.
Well, also the Chiefs didn't really explode within the game. You know, that pick 6 helped them a lot.
Yeah.
I think Edwards got the touchdown.
Edwards-Helaire, he did have a touchdown.
Yeah, he had the touchdowns. But like I said, I
And
don't know.
McCole Hardman had the other, didn't he?
Okay, yeah. So,
they-
I mean, you know, our run up the hill is always gonna be our, you know,
It's
a
gonna be a
lower
dart throw.
Oh,
It is a dart
yeah.
throw. Yeah.
So, but I think he might be up there.
I will add to your point that I do like Devontae Adams this week. It was really tough. Like I was going to pick him, but I ended up picking somebody else. He's going up against the Titans, and Stephon Diggs just dominated the Titans.
No kidding.
So I think that is a really good pick. So yeah, Devontae Adams is a good one.
I didn't realize he only had 2 receptions on the day this past week. 2 receptions for 12 yards is what Adams had this past. He had a touchdown. But my
That game,
goodness,
that whole
you
game
just
was
can't do
ugly.
that.
That whole game was ugly.
It was.
I don't know if y'all like watched it. That whole game was ugly. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it.
Tough loss. I mean,
yeah.
the Cardinals deserved the win for sure.
Yeah, absolutely they did. I saw some stat that on that 2-point conversion, Kyler Murray ran like 84.5 yards in his scrambling that he did in that time.
Yeah.
And that you go watch it back.
Jesus.
They StatCasted it was 84.5 yards that he ran.
Nuts.
Just insane. So, okay, those are bold picks, but I like them, especially the Adams one. Derek, what about you? Who do you have?
For wide receiver, for my Prince of the Hill, I like Justin Jefferson.
For the same reason?
Yeah.
Down
for the
week
same
leads to a good
reason,
week.
yeah.
I mean, it's hard to not pick those elite receivers after they had a bad week. You know, they're gonna want to be like they want to prove to everybody that they are the elite receivers. So they're gonna
Yeah,
they're gonna step up next week.
I really like the matchup against the Detroit Lions. I mean, this is going to be a high-scoring, juicy game. I feel like every single player on the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings, you gotta play them. I feel like this is going to be just a stupid high-scoring game. So
Sure.
that's why I like Justin Jefferson this week. For my running up the hill, I have a really deep dart throw, and it's actually Drake London.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, this one's a little bit more difficult to achieve, I think. But against the Seattle Seahawks, I think he might have a better game. So we'll see that. Hopefully, we'll look out for Drake London just looking really good in this past week. So
He did, and it was against the Rams.
It was
That's
against
no
the Rams,
defense
yeah.
to like shy away from. It was
Yeah.
against Ramsey
It was
and that
against the
defense.
Rams,
My
yeah.
goodness.
So yeah, I'm looking at Drake London against a easier matchup in the Seahawks, and he's looking like he's gonna be the guy over there. So I
He
mean,
is.
Kyle Pitts is not doing that much, and I think Drake London is benefiting from that for sure. So
Absolutely.
look for him for my running up the hill.
Good picks. I like the Justin Jefferson one. I actually love your dart throw on Drake London. He had a really solid game this past week, and like you
Yeah.
said, it's going to be a shoot. Or who do they go? They go against the Saints,
Seahawks.
right?
No, the Seahawks this week.
This week.
Oh, Seahawks. I mean, even more reason to love them. That
Yeah.
team is a dumpster fire right now, and I think they could take advantage of it. So, okay, for my Prince of the Hill wide receiver, I'm going to go the same route as y'all here. I'm going to go Jamar Chase,
Jamar Chase,
a guy who had a bad week, hopefully bounces back for a great week.
Yeah, I could see it.
We all can, clearly. I just think, there's, especially with the Joe Burrow connection, there's no way they get shut out like that 2 weeks in a row. They're going to try to feed him, and it's going to be I think a bloodbath against Houston is who they play.
I just think
No, they play the Jets actually.
The
They play the
Jets.
They play
Jets.
Jets?
Yeah, this
Oh,
upcoming week.
man.
I just think
So-
I just think the whole team has had a bad week. They just had a bad
They
week.
did.
The whole team did.
I think they came in too
Burrow.
cocky.
I think I can see that. I can 100% see that,
Joe Burrow got sacked 6 times.
dude.
Oh, that's ugly. Yeah, that's rough to see.
I'm pretty sure-
Micah Parsons got after them.
I'm pretty sure the Bengals had one of the worst offensive lines in the league.
No, they drafted and they got a bunch of guys to be one of the best offensive lines in the
On
league.
paper, they should have been so good.
Yeah,
and,
but
they're not.
They're not doing good.
You know what, Cole? Your pick of Chase. I'm excited to see Sauce Gardner versus Chase.
It'll be fun to watch that. That's rookie on second year.
semi-rookie.
So, Sauce Gardner, he's looked great this season so far. It'll be interesting to see how they play him. If he's going to play onto one side of the field, or if he shadows Chase the entire game and runs after him. It'll be great to see. So I'm going to actually stick with my running up the hill and the same offense. I'm going T. Higgins.
Whoa.
I think it's never been done before. I'm
Never
taking
been done.
two guys in the same offense. I think you could see T. Higgins or Jamar Chase. Like you said, Sauce Gardner may lock up Jamar Chase.
So T.
That
Higgins
leaves
might
T.
be on
Higgins
the-
free to just ball
guess.
out this year.
I guess you're
or
right.
this week.
So
So
you're really banking on the Bengals this week.
I'm banking on the Bengals. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup, and Joe Burrow is going to let it fly, and that will lead to one of these guys having a monster day. So, all right, let's go to the running backs. Luis, who do you have as your Prince of the Hill and running back?
I have Dalvin Cook. I'm kind of iffy about him, but I'm gonna give him a shot. I
Just
know
had a bad week.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. In the beginning of the podcast, I would have shied away from Dalvin if I was, top 4 pick, because he's very injury prone. But the Vikings the whole Vikings team just was like garbo. They just looked terrible yesterday. But I think he bounced back next week.
It's time for a breakout game. He's had 2 very stagnant games with only 26 touches on the season so far. That's what he gets normally in 1 week.
They play Detroit, so it's going to be a great game.
That's one of the things that you like to see, that they're playing Detroit. You're playing everybody on these 2 offenses, I feel like. And
Absolutely.
This is going to be a shootout.
So. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And for my running up the hill, I'll say Rashard Penny. I think
this is a shot in the dark here.
That's a good. That's a shot, but hey, that's why we make these shots and see. Luckily, let's see if they freaking hit.
You know what, Luis? The last running up the hills that you've done, they have actually done really well.
Dude. So I think I know what I'm talking about. I think I know what I'm talking about.
Who are we to doubt you anymore, man? You're finding the
Shot
guys.
Penny against the Falcons, so yeah.
I'm gonna go trade for him because at this point you just seem to be spot on with these guys.
All right, so my Prince of the Hill for running back is actually going to be Joe Mixon. I'm sticking with your
team, his team.
With
Let's
Colton's
go Bengals
against the Jets. Yeah, I mean this could be easy. This could be easily attainable against the Jets. I like to see Mixon do something because he hasn't been that great.
No.
As of yet, but hopefully he will get something here against the Jets. So
as you've stated, this offensive line's been rough, even though they weren't supposed to be. People thought Mixon would have a really good year, finishing 3rd on the season last year. He had a really good moment to take that step up, and they've just fallen flat for him. So yeah, this offensive line has something to prove, which opens up the opportunity for your guy Mixon this week. I like it.
Yeah, I could see that definitely happening for Mixon. And then my running up the hill it's going to be Jeff Wilson this week. Ty Davis-Price is injured. He has a high ankle sprain. It's only going to be Jeff Wilson. They have somebody else they got from the practice squad, I believe. I don't remember his name right off the top of my head, but they are going up against the Broncos, which, I mean, come on, you've seen every team that the Broncos have played so far just destroy them, but not really destroy them, but mentally destroy them. I should say.
Broncos are done before the game starts.
They pick on them. They're bullies.
Yeah, they're bullies.
Yeah, no.
But I could see this one getting out of hand, and San Francisco just dominating, and then Jeff Wilson just benefiting from this. So I could see Jeff Wilson being maybe a top finish.
Do y'all know when Eli Mitchell's coming back?
It's
gonna
week
be a
8.
while.
Yeah, he's out for a while.
He's going to be out for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost picked Jeff Wilson as my guy. UNT alum. We talked about him last week. He's got a chance to really establish himself as a key player in this offense, and I think it could happen this week. So I love the pick. For my running backs, Prince of the Hill, I like DeAndre Swift.
Oh, that's such an easy choice.
It is, but this is again just one of those offenses you just have to play them.
You have to play this game. Yeah,
he's looked electric. He's busted off massive runs, and I just think it's his week to put it all together. The first week he had a phenomenal game. Second week, a little bit of an injury, so I think they cautioned him.
But he still had a good game.
He still had a great game, yeah.
Yep.
And then I think this is the week. He puts it all together, and he just breaks through as the number 1 guy. So
they play the Vikings. So
very easy.
Should be good. It should be good.
My next one's a little more questionable. I'm going David Montgomery.
For your running up the hill, I think that's a good pick this week against the Houston Texans. I think that's safe.
It's a bad on bad here. These rosters are both just fighting for last place, it seems.
Yeah. And the Bears don't throw the ball. They only threw the ball 11 times this last week. So what the hell?
No, you're right.
It's because Justin Fields doesn't know how to throw the ball.
He's a running quarterback, yeah. He doesn't really pass that much. And so I think this is Montgomery's time to shine. 17 and 15 running attempts, but 122 yards last week.
Yeah.
If he finds the end zone, that is a good-looking week.
Yeah.
So against a very, very rough Houston defensive line, I think they're going to just – Laramie Tunsil was the highest-graded left tackle this past week behind Andrew Thomas. So they can run behind him and tear that line up. So I'd say a really good week of picks. We're going to have some exciting players to watch, some good games to watch. We kind of picked around similar games, so hopefully one of us hits this week. Not Luis, but one of us.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
hit.
we're keeping an eye on this scoreboard. Maybe there's a payoff at the end of it for whoever gets the most. It should be fun. Mm-hmm. Last segment here. It'll be a rather quick one. We're going to do waiver wire pickups, guys we think you should be going after. Derric, why don't you go ahead and sort of run off this list here?
Yeah. So I mean, this week is a little bit more complicated. I feel like there's not that many options rather than what we saw in week 1. But for quarterback, you just saw Trey Lance go down, and Jimmy G is available. So I think Jimmy G could be an easy pickup this week, or I guess going forward, because Trey Lance is going to be out. So if you need a quarterback, if you had Trey Lance, go after Jimmy G. So yeah, I think he's just he will benefit every single single person on the 49ers. So yeah, look for him.
Pick him up quick because I feel like even though whenever Trey Lance is back, Jimmy G will probably start a good amount of games.
Yeah, I think Jimmy G is going to be the starter for the rest of the season because
they roll him out for the season.
Trey Lance is out for the season.
Oh yeah, he broke his ankle.
So yeah, Jimmy G is the guy for the rest of the year. For running back, we saw a huge shift with the Dolphins' backfield. So I'm going to go with Raheem Mostert here. Chase Edmonds did not do anything, and it's so embarrassing because this team everybody did something except for Chase Edmonds, and so it's like now we're bouncing to Raheem Mostert, and I mean he looks good every time he plays. Like if he's the number one guy, he looks good if he can stay healthy. But yeah, they're rolling with Raheem Mostert now, and so. That's somebody that you want to stash on your bench. Maybe play him for a couple weeks for a couple of flex games. Don't play him next week against the Bills. But
avoid that game.
Yeah, try to avoid any Dolphins.
Avoid Dolphin defense.
Yes.
If for some reason you have the Dolphins defense, drop them.
Yeah.
Do not play. Try not to play anybody. Obviously, you're playing Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, maybe Tua, but
avoid the run game.
Avoid pretty much anybody that's not as skilled as these guys.
No kidding.
Definitely stash Raheem Mostert as a waiver wire pickup. And then for wide receiver, Luis, I'm going to pick up your Sterling Shepard.
Hey, that's a good pickup. That's a good pickup. Remember, the only way to win a fantasy league is not by drafts. It's by what?
It's by waivers. It's by going into the waivers.
No kidding.
Sterling Shepard, I'm going with him this week. I mean, he's getting a lot of targets. I mean,
he's your number one receiver.
Yeah, he's the number one receiver over there. It's not Kenny Galladay. I mean, let's
go. What a waste of money.
Gosh, $19 million. I play better than Kenny Galladay when I did.
Yeah, we love Sterling Shepard. He's the oldest wide receiver out there right now. I mean, he's looking great. He's getting the targets. I think he will give you some good weeks going forward.
Yeah, I think he'll excel later on.
For tight end, we're still looking at Gerald Everett. He hasn't been picked up in 100% of leagues yet, and
still at only 30%.
Yeah, he's at 30%. He should be picked up in every single league because he is looking like the dude over there, like behind Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. So I would definitely stash Gerald Everett. I mean, he could be a tight end one. Like he could be a starting tight end. I feel like, and so
yeah,
I think especially if there's an injury out there, I think he benefits the most. So pick up number 5 if you haven't yet on your waiver wire. Another tight end that I'm looking at is Irv Smith, and he is only drafted in about 40% of the leagues right now, and they're looking to get him more involved in the passing game over there in Minnesota. So I think Irv Smith is somebody to really look out for on that team. So
timeout.
What?
Remember last night I texted y'all Smith Jr. should be cut immediately?
He did say that.
Remember?
Oh, you did? Irv Smith Jr. should be cut?
Dude, do you not see? Okay.
Oh, he dropped that touchdown pass, right.
Okay, he dropped.
I saw that.
Okay, there's three plays that really frustrated the crap out of me. He dropped 3 balls. One of them was a touchdown pass. He was open, and it hit his hands and it just fell.
That was the 50-yard bomb.
Yes, that was. And then the other 2 were third down situations. He was wide. I won't say he was wide open, but they're catchable balls for the first down. You know, and he made me really mad. I don't know why. I don't even have him. Like I don't have Kirk Cousins. I was just watching him play. He was making me really mad. But towards the end, he was catching the balls. I mean, I don't know. I mean, pick him up if you want to.
I like him as a flyer. He was targeted 8 times. He had 5 receptions for 36 yards and a touchdown. I mean, it's not great, but it's something. I mean, tight ends have been garbage.
They have. If you're going to take a shot on somebody, he's not going to cost you a lot.
Tight ends in general have just been terrible. You're looking at T.J. Hawkinson, who only got 3 points. Kyle Pitts, who only got 1.5.
Yeah.
I mean, like tight ends are just like abnormally terrible this year.
How's Darren Waller?
Darren Waller did great.
He found the end zone.
Yeah, I think he was the number 1 tight end actually this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he did good.
I'm glad for him.
But yeah, those are this week's waivers. So
okay, everybody. I think that's where we're going to end it. Thank you all for joining us in this week's episode. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. It's halftime_ADJ. I think when we're going to reach a certain following, we'll do some sort of giveaway on there. Not entirely sure what it'll be yet, but keep your eyes posted for that as we continue to provide y'all, hopefully, league-winning content here. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next week.
later.